Hello, hey everyone. Um, this is Yeshayahu Weeps. I am doing this video because I was having a very good conversation with a user by the name of Sir Williams, who was very kind and was asking my thoughts about something, so I am sharing this, and hopefully others will benefit as well. I welcome feedback, differing thoughts, sharing whatever you think I'm wrong about or right about, any of it. So, first I am going to go into, he was asking my thoughts on a number of verses. The first one is Yeshayahu, or Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6. Now I'm going to go back a couple of verses before that for the context. Because the verse starts out saying because. So why does it say because? Well, I'll just start at the beginning of the chapter. I am reading out of the Scriptures version, and I will make modifications as I feel like it's appropriate. There's a few Hebrew names that I'm not going to look up their meanings, but they do actually mean something in English, but I'll just read the names. But there is no gloom upon her who is distressed, as when at first he, referring to Yahweh, humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward more heavily oppressed her by the way of the sea beyond the Yarden, in Galil of the nations. Now Yarden, I think, means descending. I can't remember Zebulun and Naphtali. I can't remember what those mean. Galil, I can't remember exactly what that means. It might mean like circle or encompassing. I can't remember exactly, but I'll go on. The people who are walking in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those who dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, a light has shone. You will increase the nation. You will make its joy great. They will rejoice before you as in the joy of harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. Because you will break the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. And when it says the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, I take that as Hebrew parallelism, a form of Hebrew poetry where they say two things that are the same, but they say it two different ways to kind of give it a little more depth of understanding. So going on. And Midian, like I said, I'm not going to try and interpret what that means right now. Because every boot of one trampling in tumult and coat rolled in blood will be used for burning and fuel of fire. So to me it seems like he's saying everything that people clothe themselves with to do violence, all of that stuff is going to be fuel for the fire. It's going to be burnt up. It's going to be done away with, kaput. It's going to be gone. And then in verse 6, because indeed a boy has been born for us, a son has been given to us. There's that Hebrew parallelism again. And one day the responsibility of kingship or ruling will rest on his shoulders, meaning he'll be bearing the burden, as in bearing a yoke. And his name will be called Wonder of the Counselor, or Advisor, or Instructor, Powerful Authority of the Warrior. My Father is Perpetual, or again, Ruler of the Peaceful Wholeness. And that is from the Hebrew, I think this is how it's pronounced, Pele Ya'atz El Gibor Abiyad Sar Shalom. Which, that's my understanding of what that means. I think there's a couple other ways that you could interpret what it means. Extraordinary strategist, mighty hero of Abiyad, ruler of well-being and wholeness, would be the first part. Well, actually, the whole thing, I guess. Another way is wonderful in counsel is El is a mighty warrior, my father of renewal, ruler of the wholeness and peace. And I have a note saying the wholeness and peace may be referring to Yerushalayim, or Jerusalem. And it could possibly be translated as El Gibor, the father of Ad, ruler of Hashalom. Also possibly translated as wonder of Ya'atz, powerful authority of Gibor, the father of Ad, ruler of Hashalom. Jeff Benner, AncientHebrew.org, has a really good video on this. I might include it in the description. I'll link to it in the description, but my understanding of what this would mean is wonder of the counselor or advisor or instructor, powerful authority of the warrior. My father is perpetual, or again, ruler of the peaceful wholeness. And I see that what his name being called, it actually fits, because the name of Yeshua means Yahweh is rescue, Yahweh is salvation. So his very name, the name of Yeshua, is actually proclaiming, his very name is proclaiming Yahweh, proclaiming the Creator. And right here it's saying that his name is going to be boasting in and proclaiming his Creator, his Father, of course, who is the Father of us all. Yahweh is the Father of us all. But so that's what I see this verse as saying, that his name will be all about him proclaiming his Father. That's what his name is going to be all about. Wonder of the counselor or advisor instructor. Well, who's the counselor, advisor, instructor? It's Yahweh. Powerful authority of the warrior. Yahweh is many times referred to as a warrior, and he's the one with the ultimate powerful authority. My father is perpetual, or again, ruler of the peaceful wholeness. And who is his father but Yahweh? So that is my understanding of Yeshayahu, or Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. And it says, of the increase of his rule and shalom, there is no end. Upon the throne of David and over his reign, to establish it and sustain it with right ruling and with uprightness, tzadikness, from now on, even stretching beyond the horizon, going farther than we can see. So I see that it's saying that of Yahweh's rule and peace there is no end. Upon the throne of David and over his reign. So he's ruling over the throne of David. He's the authority over the throne of David, and he is on the throne of David, even though he's placing his human spokesman, his human messenger, Yeshua, on the throne. Yeshua points directly to Yahweh, so ultimately it all leads back to Yahweh. Going on, Yochanan, or John, chapter 20, verse 28. I have to look that up, so give me just a moment. Let's see. I think I know which verse this is. Yes, this is where Thomas, when Yeshua says to Thomas, bring your finger here and see my hands, and bring your hand and put it into my side, and don't be unbelieving, but believing. So he's saying, don't be, I can't remember, emunah, it might be the Hebrew term, but it basically means to firmly affix yourself to something. It's not just a mental assent, but it's believing in action. If you believe the woman that you meet, if you're a guy, the woman that you meet is the right girl for you and you love her, you're going to act on it and marry her. That's you're going to act on it. It's not just going to be, I think she's the right one, but I'm not really going to do anything about it because, oh well. No, you're going to act on it. It's a word that has to do with action, firmly affixing yourself to something. So he's saying, don't be neglecting firmly affixing yourself, but firmly affix yourself. Firmly affix yourself to me as I am firmly affixed to Yahweh. And then the pertinent verse is 20, verse 28. And Thomas answered and said to him, my master and my Elohim, which would actually be my master and my authority. And how I mentioned Hebrew parallelism? It's used right here. He's saying the same thing two different ways. He's saying my master and my powerful authority, because that's what Elohim means. And when it refers to Yahweh, it's referring to ultimate powerful authority, because by his nature there's no one higher than him. He is the maximum. He is it. When he's referring to another human being like Yeshua, he's saying, my powerful authority. You're the top human being. So he's saying my master and my authority. That's what he's saying in Yochanan 20 verse 28. And then going on, Yochanan 8 verse 50. That's another interesting one. Give me just a moment to get to this. Oh, here we go. So, I believe it's the Perushim. Oh, it says it's the Yehudim, the Jews. But it's probably the Perushim. But it's basically the Jewish authorities. They're debating with Yeshua. And they're saying, you've got a demon. If anyone guards my words, he will never taste death. That's what you're saying. You've got a demon. Everyone's going to die. Are you greater than our father Abraham who died, and the Nebaim or prophets or spokesmen who died? Whom do you make yourself? Who do you claim to be? Yehoshua answered, if I give weight to myself, if I give the weight of importance to myself, my weight of importance is nothing at all. It's my Father who gives me weight of importance, of whom you say that he is your ultimate powerful authority. You're claiming that he's your ultimate powerful authority, and he's the very one who's giving me the weight of importance. And you have not known him, but I know him. And if I say I do not know him, I'll be like you, a liar. But I do know him, and I guard his message. Your father Abraham was glad that he would see my day, and he saw it and he rejoiced. He was excited about it. He was very happy about it. The Yehudim, or Jews, Jewish authorities, so the Yehudim, or Jewish authorities, said to him, you are not yet 50 years old, and you've seen Abraham? What are you nuts? You're not even 50, and you claim to have seen this guy that's lived thousands of years ago. Yeshua said to them, I'm honestly telling you the truth. I'm telling you, before Abraham comes to be, I am. Now, properly understanding that, I see it as saying, before Abraham comes to be. He comes to be born. So he's not saying before Abraham comes to be in existence, because Abraham already lived. He lived and died. So he can't be saying that. That wouldn't make any sense at all. Well, he's using the present tense here, and actually he's using the future tense with Abraham. So he's saying, before Abraham comes to be, I am. I am what? I am he. There's other places where it uses the phrase ego eimi when with I think the man that was born blind, if I remember right, and the Perushim authorities, the Jewish authorities are asking you, are you the man that was born blind? And he says, I am. I am what? I am he. I'm the person you're referring to. So here he's saying, I am he. I have a note on this saying, see Yochanan 4 verse 26, 9 verse 9, and Mark 13 verse 6. And then actually this brings me back to how, because I've heard a lot of Christians say that this is referring to when Yahweh says, I am. Well, when Yahweh says, Eye Asher Eye, he's saying, I am or I will be because I exist, because I'm the self-existent one. So he's basically saying, I exist because I am the self-existent one. It's almost like he's saying, I exist because I am existence. I'm existence. So, and then he says, Yahweh says to Moshe, or Moses, tell the Israelites that I am has sent me to you. So he's basically stating, I am existence, I'm the source of existence. Tell them that the source of existence is the one that sent you. That's my understanding. Because if you say I am, it implies I am something. I am what? I am a fruitcake. I am Yirmiyahu who weeps. I am what? I'm a human being. I am a man, a person. So just saying I am implies I am something. And when Yahweh says I am, he's basically, to me, what I hear is that he's saying I am existence. I am the source of everything that is, was, or ever will be. I am existence. That is my understanding of Yochanan 8 verse 58. That before Abraham comes to be, and before Abraham comes to be born at his resurrection into eternal life, before he comes to be fully, after this life, after he lived in this life, before he comes to be in the next life, that Yeshua is he, the coming promised one. Going on to 1 Timothy or Timotiyos, Alpha Timotiyos, I think it'd be in the Greek, 3:16. And let me look that up because it's going to take me a minute. I think that you guys can see, I'm sure you can see my thermometer back there. There. I can't take the heat. I cannot take the heat. It's only 67 Fahrenheit. And it's too hot for me. I'm dying. That MS, I tell ya. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, Timotiyos 3:16. Don't wake up in the morning if you can't take the heat. Just kidding. Timotiyos 3:16. And agreed by all, great and awesome is the secret of the reverent, fearful respect and awe. And that reverent, fearful, and respect of awe, of course, would be of Yahweh. To reverently and fearfully respect and be in awe of Yahweh, who was revealed to be a man. And who was revealed to be a man? That reverent, fearful respect and awe was revealed to be a man. In the flesh. In the flesh is the accurate, actual phrase, but in the flesh means as a human being. Shown to be right in character or essence, was seen by messengers, was proclaimed among people, believed and trusted in the world, was elevated in importance. So let me see if I have any. That's when it says, and agreed by all, great and awesome is the secret. That secret is mysterion, and signifies a secret which is being or even has been revealed, which is also divine in scope and needs to be made known by Yahweh to people through his ruach, through his essence, through his power. It denotes not the mysterious as with the English word, but that which, being outside the range of unassisted and natural apprehension, can be made known only by divine revelation, and is made known in a manner at a time appointed by Yahweh. So I see that it's saying that the fearful, the reverent, fearful respect and awe of Yahweh was revealed to be a human being. So it seems to me to be about the image of Yahweh, where Yeshua is in another place, and if I can find it, I'll put it in an annotation. But in another place, it's talked about how he is the image of Yahweh. Now, of course, if you go back to Bereshit, it talks about how Adam, the male and female Adam, before the female was renamed Hawa, but the male and female Adam were made in the image of Yahweh. But then what happened? Well, they fell into disobedience. They did something that they were told not to do. So they could no longer be the full and complete image of Yahweh, because they had violated his image. They had violated his character. But Yeshua did not violate it. So he was the full and complete image of Yahweh. So he was the reverent, fearful respect and awe of Yahweh, revealed to be a human. Yeshua himself, shown to be right in character and essence. He was shown to be right. So that's what I see that this is referring to. That Yeshua was actually the fulfillment of being the image of Yahweh, because he completely, perfectly followed Torah. He completely was love, and he was the living demonstration of what Yahweh is all about. If anyone has any other understandings of this verse, that would be great. Any thoughts about any of these verses, that would be appreciated. I'm going to go on to Yochanan chapter 1 verse 1. Let me pull that up. It's going to take me a minute. And chapter 1 verse 1 and 1 verse 14. Sorry about my ums. Boy, oh boy. See that heat. It's getting to me. I'm telling you, I don't know how people survive. 67 degrees. Oh, it's so hot. It's the MS, I'm telling you. Yochanan chapter 1 verse 1, and I am waiting and waiting and waiting some more. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Hopefully you are getting something out of this. Okay, Yochanan 1 verse 1. In a primacy beginning of being was the utterance, and the utterance was towards the Elohim, towards or with, and the utterance was of Elohim. So that utterance is logos, and the Hebrew equivalent would be dabar, and means word, order, message, plan, idea, thought. Well, since Yochanan is directly referring to Bereshit, with the way he starts out his chapter, he says, in a primacy beginning of being was the utterance. And where is that phrase found? In the very first verse of Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 1. So that's what he's referring to. When he says in the beginning was the utterance, he's saying in the beginning was the words that Yahweh spoke, the things that Yahweh spoke. In the beginning, what did he speak? First thing he spoke, let there be light. So here, we see that there's another reference. It goes on to say, it existed in a primacy beginning of being towards the Elohim. All things came to be through it, and apart from it, not one thing that came to be that came to be. In it was life, and that life was the light of mankind. Now there's that light, referring back to Bereshit chapter 1. Let there be light. So he's saying that light, that Yeshua actually has light in him, because he is the perfect image of Yahweh. And then going on to verse 14, it says, and the utterance became flesh, and dwells in a sukkah, meaning a temporary dwelling, among and with us. And we saw his importance, the importance of the unique one close to the Father, completely filled up and full of unfailing, lovingly kind favor and truth. So the words that Yahweh spoke, well, what are the words that Yahweh spoke? First he spoke, let there be light, and then he spoke all creation into existence. Then he gave his message, his utterance, his message, his Torah to Moshe, his instructions to Moshe. And Yeshua is the embodiment of the Torah. Yeshua is the living Torah. So saying the utterance became flesh, the Torah became flesh. His instructions became flesh, the living Torah. Yeshua was living out the actual living embodiment of Yahweh's Torah. So that's what I see it as referring to. Referring back to Bereshit, Genesis, and referring back to Yahweh's Torah, which would be the first 5 books, Genesis through Deuteronomy, Bereshit through Devarim. And you can see I have a couple videos on Yochanan that I think will clarify and extrapolate more on this. Then in Revelation 1:1, oh shoot, I should have had this pulled up. Give me just a second, please, if you don't mind. Oh man, don't get MS, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. There are 4 places where the expression Alpha and Omega is supposed to have been found. Now in Hebrew that would be Aleph and Tau, which is actually a word, et, and it's the most common Hebrew word in the Tanakh, the Hebrew scriptures, which I think is Genesis through Malachi, Bereshit through Malachi. It's the most common Hebrew word. It's a word composed of the first and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet. It's et, composed of the Aleph and the Tau. So when it says on the Alpha and Omega, that's the Greek. The Hebrew would be I am the Aleph and the Tau. Now the first instance of that, if I can find it really quick, is oh man, okay, I need to pull it up, give me a second, please, momentary. The Aleph and the Tau. Yes, I am the Aleph and the Tau. This is my understanding. I think that it's reasonable to think that the Brit Hadashah, what people call the New Testament, which will actually be the new or renewed covenant, would actually originally have been written in Hebrew. They were all Hebrew-speaking people, from my understanding. All of Yeshua's Talmudim, his students, were all Hebrew-speaking people. I personally think that it was first written in Hebrew, then translated into Aramaic, and then translated into Greek. And I think there is some evidence to back me up on this, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So this is my understanding of what verse 8 would actually say. Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. I am the Aleph and the Tau, the beginning and the end, says Adonai, Yahweh of Elohim. Yahweh, he who is and who was and who is to come, the Elohim over all. Now, who qualifies as he who is and who was and who is to come? That's actually, you could say that's what the name Yahweh means. The one who is and who was and who is to come. The self-existent one. So, the first time the phrase is used, the Aleph and the Tau, we see that it's referring to Yahweh. The next time the phrase is used is Revelation 22, 8 through 9. And I will go to that now. 22, 8 through 9. Well, actually, it's just used in 22:13, but I'm doing 8 through 9 as reference. Okay. Well, I'll start in the beginning. Then the messenger showed me the river of the water of life, water as clear as crystal, pouring out from the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb, flowing down the middle of the city's main street. On each side of the river is the tree of life, producing 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit every month of the year. Its leaves are for the healing of the nations, and there will no longer be any curse, and the throne of Yahweh and the Lamb will be in the city. His servants will worship him, and they will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads. Night will be no more, and they will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, because Yahweh Elohim will shine on them, and they will rule forever and ever, for a time stretching beyond the horizon and still further. So it's even though it doesn't specifically state forever, it's actually saying way, way beyond what you can even see. So I think forever is implied there. Then the messenger said to me, "These words are reliable and true. Yahweh, the Elohim of the Ruachot of the Nebayim." So Yahweh, the ultimate powerful authority of the breath of the spokesman, of his spokesman, has sent his messenger to show his voluntary slaves what must happen soon. Now that one, what must happen soon, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but I'm not doing that right now. Then it says, "Look, I am coming soon. Blessed is the one who keeps the words of the prophecy expressed in this book." I see that is Yahweh speaking. "Look, I am coming soon. Blessed is the one who keeps the words of the prophecy expressed in this book." Then it says, "I, Yochanan, am the one who heard and saw these things." So first there's a messenger saying these words are true and reliable, talking about, and then he talks about Yahweh, and then there's a quote from Yahweh. Then there's a quote from Yochanan, or John, saying, "I'm the one who heard and saw these things, and when I heard and saw them, I threw myself down to worship, to prostrate myself at the feet of the messenger who was showing them to me. But he said to me," the messenger said to me, "Don't do this. I'm a fellow servant with you and with your brothers, the Nebayim, the spokesman of Yahweh, and with those who obey the words of this book. Prostrate yourself before Yahweh." I see that the messenger there is Yeshua. Yeshua is saying, don't be prostrating yourself to me, prostrate yourself to the Most High. Then he said to me, "Don't seal up the words of prophecy contained in this book, because the time is near. The evildoer must continue to do evil, and the one who is morally filthy must continue to be filthy." Right now I'm reading out of the Net Bible. "The one who is upright must continue to act uprightly, and the one who is separate or set apart must continue to be separate or set apart. Look, I am coming soon, and my reward is with me to pay each one according to what he has done. I am the Aleph and the Tau, the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end." Now who is speaking there? We've already seen from chapter 1 that expression is referring to Yahweh himself. So when he says, "Look, I am coming soon," who is coming soon? Yahweh. Yahweh is coming soon. Then it goes on to say, "Blessed are those who wash their robes, so they can have access to the tree of life and can enter the city by the gates. Outside are the dogs and the sorcerers and the sexually immoral and the murderers and the idolaters and everyone who loves and practices falsehood." Then it says, "I, Yeshua, have sent my messenger to testify to you about these things for the assemblies. I am the root and the descendant of David, the bright morning star. And the Ruach and the bride say, 'Come.'" The Ruach, that is either referring to the power and essence of Yahweh or Yahweh himself. "And let the one who hears say, 'Come.' And let the one who is thirsty come. Let the one who wants it take the water of life free of charge. I testify to the one who hears the words of the prophecy contained in this book. If anyone adds to them," so I see that there are several persons that are speaking here. When it says, "Look, I am coming soon," blessed is the one who keeps the words of the prophecy expressed in this book in verse 7. And then it says, "I, Yochanan, am the one who heard and saw these things." There is a switch going from the one who's speaking, the messenger who's been speaking, then to, I'm not sure if when it says, "Look, I'm coming soon," if it's referring to the messenger, or if it's referring to Yahweh. I think you can make a case for either. But I know that several persons are being referred to here. The messenger, which I see as being Yeshua, Yochanan is being referenced. Yahweh is being referenced when it talks about the Aleph and the Tau, Alpha and Omega. Yeshua is being referenced when he says that he sent his messenger to testify to you. So I think that there can be a correct understanding of who is speaking what when. And I think to correctly understand who is the Aleph and the Tau that's being referenced can be referenced back to Revelation chapter 1, where it's obviously talking about Yahweh as far as I can see. And then there is another verse, if I can find it. Oh, come on. Chapter 1, verse 11. Revelation chapter 1, verse 11. In the King James it says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus and Smyrna and Pergamos and Thyatira and Sardis and Philadelphia and Laodicea. Then the footnote in the Net Bible says, well, actually it just doesn't include it, because from what I can tell, it's stating I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, is a spurious insertion, which should make you suspect of why they're trying to, and I've seen this other places, why they're trying to portray Yeshua, who they call Jesus, as the Most High, because he's not. And if you go into my video, The Origin of the Messiah Yeshua, and characteristics of Yahweh and Yeshua, and why Jesus is and cannot be God, in those videos I show you why that is so, why he cannot be Yahweh. It's impossible. Okay, this is really long. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this actually fits the time parameters. Thank you for watching very much. Feel free to leave feedback, comments, anything. And shalom. Have a very good life. Au revoir. Sayonara. Slan. Arrivederci. Bonjour. Adios. Ni hao. Bye. Shalom.